Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to talk to you guys about why I deleted my Instagram account. Already, I've seen a couple of comments of people asking me, where did your Instagram go? Did you delete your Instagram? It had like a bazillion followers. Like, why would you do that? I know a lot of people think that I'm probably a little bit crazy for doing it. I had an Instagram account with over 230,000 followers, and I've recently deleted it. And I'm here to tell you guys why. I know that I'm going to get more people asking me in the future, so I just decided to make a video to tell you guys why I did it, and then if anyone else asks me in the future, I can just send them the link to this video if they really want to know why I deleted my account. For those of you that are new here, my name is Queen Bee, that's B-I-I. Press the red subscribe button and become a honeybee today for free. Give mama a big fat like, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. So to understand why I deleted it, we have to go all the way to the beginning. I started my Instagram account when I was around 25 years old, which is when I started modeling. I am now 33 years old, so that was about 8 years ago. At that point in time, I didn't know anything about anything, any platform, no Snapchat, no Instagram, no Twitter. The only thing that I had was Facebook, because I've had Facebook since I was like 16 years old, and that's the only thing that I knew. So needless to say, I didn't even know where to start when it came to an Instagram account. So my boyfriend at the time decided to open all of my accounts. He opened my YouTube, he opened an Instagram, he opened a Twitter, and he opened my public figure page for Facebook. He was the one handling most of my accounts, and he was the one editing my videos because I didn't know how to do anything like that. I just knew that I wanted to be an entertainer. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always known that I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to model, I wanted to sing. I just got married at a very early age, and I had my first child at a very early age, so I didn't want to be selfish and then just leave my kid to her grandparents or something and run off and do whatever. I wanted to be sure that my baby was stable first before I decided to do anything for myself. So I had my oldest daughter at 20 years old, and when things settled down and everything was in a routine and we had our home and we had better stability, that's when I decided to start modeling and kind of start pursuing my dreams little by little. So when I started modeling was when my boyfriend at the time opened up all my pages and he was running them, and every time I would do a modeling gig, all the models that I would run into, they would always say, you need followers, you need followers, you need followers, you need followers. It seemed to me like getting followers was the big thing, and it was the key to success, and it was, you know, what you needed to do. I did have an account with Model Mayhem as well, which is a place where you could just find modeling gigs, and they had some gigs up there that said that they would pay like $4, $5, up to $800 for one Instagram post if you had at least 100,000 followers, and I wasn't even close. So my boyfriend at the time was doing his best to try and get my page going, but nothing was really working. I feel because he was the one running it and I wasn't the one running it, you didn't get a sense of personality, you didn't get a sense of who I was as a person. It was just pretty generic. I just posted my modeling pictures, and some did well, some did not, blah blah blah. But we kept getting DMs from different types of promoters that would ask, you know, if we want to get promoted for a price. So we finally decided to hire a promoter, and basically what the promoter would do was they would post my content on their like massive pages with millions of followers, and then once I would get to a certain amount of followers, they would take down all of my posts, and if I wanted to do another promotion, then they would do it again. I don't remember how much I was paying the promoter, but I do know that I was doing like 10,000 followers at a time. Now the problem here was, yes, I was getting followers, and yes, they were real people, but the bulk of the people were like 90% men from like India or something, and they were just thirsty mother effers, you know. And every time I posted something sexy, it would do well, but every time I would post something like a makeup tutorial or something, it would do horrible. So thinking that I would get more brand deals and more business out of just having a bigger number of followers, I continued to ignore that. I continued to ignore the fact that it was like 90% male, and I just kept going until one day I hired the wrong promoter because my boyfriend wanted to go with somebody else, and this promoter filled up my page with a bunch of bots. So this promoter did my page a huge disservice because it really affected it really negatively in the algorithm, and my page completely dropped. And that was when I was at around 50,000 followers. So at around 50,000 followers, that promoter gave me my 10,000 followers, but then as soon as he got my money, he took them all away. So it took me a long time, maybe almost a year, to be able to recover my account, to go back to a good amount of likes and a good amount of engagement, because it really messed me up and it really dropped me in the algorithm really bad. So I decided to continue working with my other promoter, and I eventually got my page to a point where it was generating like 100 followers a day by itself, with no promoter and with nothing. So I stopped doing my promotions because I was able to grow by myself. Like, I was in a good spot in the algorithm. So I thought that this was going to be, something great. Look, I did it. I was at over 200,000 followers, but I wasn't getting any business. I wasn't getting any brand deals. And that's fast forwarding, a few years of trying to figure it out, trying to get followers, trying to post my stuff in the right pages. I mean, this is years and years of work. You hear me talk about it and it sounds like a short period of time, but no, this was like year after year after year. And I had just started my YouTube channel. I just started being consistent with it, and I was hoping that having a large number of followers on Instagram would just get me more business. But it turns out that brands don't want to work with somebody that has a high male following, because brands mostly want to sell to females, as females are the ones that buy like a lot of products. Men are interested in other things like sexy content or buying your unmentionables, and that's not the kind of business that I wanted to run. But then if I didn't post anything sexy, then the algorithm would drop me and I would not be getting the 100 followers that I was generating every single day. So then fast forward like 6 years into it, I got pregnant with baby Paris, and I stopped doing my sexy content because I didn't want to be pregnant and then do sexy content like lingerie or anything, because I don't like anything like that. And that's when the algorithm like officially dropped me. And I was trying to like recover it afterwards, but I noticed that every time I was going to make like sexy content for Instagram, it was never like sexy enough. Like, it had to be like super risque in order for me to get a good amount of engagement. And I knew that engagement meant I would get like followers every day, and if I didn't have good engagement and I was dropped by the algorithm, then I wasn't getting any followers anymore. So then I decided that I needed to change my look, because I did see like a lot of successful people in like the Explore page and stuff like that, and they had something that I didn't. They had a flat stomach, they had a small waist, they had perky boobs, things that I didn't have because of my natural body type. A lot of people might think, oh, it's because you had babies. No, it's because that's my body type. I have most of my body fat upstairs naturally, so even before having a baby, even after 10 years of constant exercise and becoming a personal fitness trainer, I still didn't get the flat small waist or the perky boobs. I think the boob thing was definitely because of pregnancy, but the stomach thing, it's just always been like that for me. And I always had to work with different angles, and the angles had to be like really specific and very risque in order for me to look good in the video or to look good in the post, and it had to be like sexier and sexier. So after having a baby and after having my mommy makeover, I knew that I could get my Instagram engagement and 100 followers a day. I knew I could get that right back up there again, but I would have to do the same risque sexy content that I was making. But I was like, well, maybe now that I look better, I can do more conservative content and it would be just as sexy, and I'll be able to fix my page, quote unquote, and maybe steer my audience into a different direction, maybe steer the algorithm to promote it to different type of people. Like, women, because brands didn't want to work with somebody with a high male following. They would email me and they'd be like, oh, can you send me a picture of your analytics? Or they would look into my analytics and then they'd be like, okay, well, we decided to go with someone else. So something that I learned was, unless you want to lead people to something like an OF, you don't really want a high male following, because brands don't want to work with you. So even though I always knew that I wanted to do like more conservative stuff, I never felt like I looked apart. So I got my Mommy Makeover. After my Mommy Makeover, I did like 8 months of more conservative content, which is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do fashion, fitness, and beauty, but I didn't do fitness because I didn't feel like I looked apart. I did beauty, but nobody ever engaged with it. I did fashion, but unless it was like super sexy and super risque, nobody was engaging with it either. So I finally came to the conclusion that in order for me to be able to pursue fashion, fitness, and beauty was to start a brand new account and start fresh with people that are interested in those subjects, because my promoter just got me followers that were interested in super sexy risque stuff that you see like in OF, and I wasn't planning on doing anything like that. I'm still not planning on doing anything like that. I do enjoy being a little sexy here and there, but there's a limit because of my values, because of my daughters, because of my husband. I do not want to go past, a certain point, and I was going past that certain point, mentally, because I thought that when I got my Mommy Makeover, I could turn things around and get a different spot in the algorithm and get the algorithm to show my content to a different type of audience, like women, for example. But for 8 months after I got my Mommy Makeover, it never happened. And I got tired of trying, and I got super anxious, and I would get depressed all the time because it wasn't working. I was working hard and I was super busy, but nothing was happening. I wasn't getting money from any angle. Like, all I was getting was anxiety and stress. So I decided that I just needed to delete it and delete 8 years of growing my page and 8 years of hard work, because the algorithm already had pegged me at a certain position and a certain type of page that I never wanted to be in the first place, and there's nothing I could do about it. Like, 8 months is a long time, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I post almost every single day. So that was 8 months of a lot of hard work that I couldn't keep doing. I just couldn't keep doing this free work and not getting anything out of it. So the fact that I deleted my Instagram really makes no difference in my income, because the only money that I have been generating is from my YouTube channel, not my Instagram. So the fact that I have a new Instagram right now, which is at queenv_official, go follow me there if you really love me. The only difference that it makes is that I'm not as anxious or as depressed, because I don't feel pressured to do content that I don't want to do. So yeah guys, that's the full story, and that's why I deleted my Instagram. I hope that this could help somebody out there that is thinking about hiring a promoter, or that is getting the wrong type of following. If sexy risque content or OF is not in your agenda, I really don't recommend that you go that route. Yes, the numbers are there, but you end up fucking yourself over. Like, it's just not worth it. I would just suggest to do it the old-fashioned way. Go on Instagram and post every single day. Go on the explore page and comment on 10 posts that have to do with your content. Be sure that you pay attention to your post on the first hour, and then you're responding with forward comments, because that way the algorithm sees it as engagement, and it sees that your page is being engaged with, and it decides to push your content further. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just basically starting from scratch, but I'm definitely feeling like a huge weight off my shoulders, and I'm a lot happier than I was just a week ago. And I thought that I was gonna regret it, but I do not, because as I said, the only difference that it makes is that I'm not as anxious, I don't feel pressured, I'm still making the same amount of money, so it can only improve my life, except I don't have bragging rights, right? I can't be like, oh, I have over 200,000 followers on Instagram, oh my gosh. Except I never did that to begin with. In fact, when I was working at my last job, when they finally found out that I had like thousands of followers, I didn't even have like 200,000 at the time. I had like 50,000 at the time. People, you know, they were surprised because I'm not someone that just brags about things, but they found out eventually, and then they were like, oh my god, like, are you famous? And I'm like, working on it, I guess. But no, my goal was never like, oh, I want to be rich and famous like the Kardashians, you know. It was never like that. What I've always wanted to do was to be an entertainer and to make a living off of what I love to do. And these days, after having 2 little girls, my dream is to be able to work from home and support my family from home so I can spend as much time as possible with them. So that's the difference between childhood me and adult me. Childhood me definitely would have wanted to, you know, go out there and film movies and go to different locations and whatnot. But adulthood me wants to be popular or an influencer or an entertainer from my living room. That's what I want to do, so I can spend as much time with my babies as possible. Being a mother to my babies is priceless to me and is literally my favorite job in the entire universe, is to be a mommy. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope that I could answer the question why I deleted my Instagram, and I also hope that I can help somebody out there that is going through something similar and give you guys just a different light, just shed light into the behind the scenes of things, because you know, things might look a certain way but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I bet that you guys didn't know I was gonna say any of these things. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget, if you guys want to see more videos of fashion, beauty, and health, to press the red subscribe button and become a honeybee today for free. Give mama a big fat like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!